Hi, I'm Briar Rose.
And I'm Cameron Church.
And today we are going to be talking about controversial topics.
I think pineapple should be on pizza.
I don't think pineapple should be on pizza because sweet does not go with pizza is supposed to be cheese and then like meats or vegetables and stuff like that. Pineapple is sweet and it doesn't go with it. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't mix well. It's not a good combination.
I think it's a great combination because it gets like the sweet and the salty all together. I think
that's
it's just
why it doesn't work.
I think it's a perfect blend because like you get like that sweet factor to it, and I feel like it tastes so good.
No, it tastes disgusting though.
Because salt is not supposed to go with sweet. You're supposed to keep those separate.
No, literally, it's sweet and salty. Like
No.
those go together perfect.
They really don't though, because it does not taste good.
But
that's why you
tastes
don't put it
amazing.
on there. You just eat pineapple by itself. Like it's not supposed to go on there.
Do you even like pineapple?
No, but that's besides the topic.
Exactly.
My thing is that basically dancing is just basically like a hobby.
Sport is really defined by like going to competitions and like competing. So one could argue that even band would be a sport, but like dance is also, you're exerting yourself. Like you sweat, I know. Like I'm in show choir. Dancing is hard. It's not easy. And you compete and you also get trophies and stuff for it.
No.
Yes.
Multiple reasons, but one is that this is a public place, so it'd be the same thing as making out in an aisle at Walmart. It's not okay.
I think it's okay because you should be able to show your love and affection for your spouse anywhere.
Yo, chickies!
What up, home sneezes? It's your boys.
McDonald's is better because the fries. It's all about
Okay,
the
hold
fries.
on.
No. You're not gonna interrupt me while I'm talking. Thank you, next. The burger is just the side dish. She's what you eat to get full. But you are there for the fries. You do not go to a fast food restaurant and not get fries. Like that is the whole course meal. The fries are better. So everything else becomes irrelevant.
Alright, well, me and my side chicks think different because you go there, you go to Burger King, right? You get there and you get the most massive burger you've ever seen in your life. Like you're sitting there, you look at it, you're like, darn, I don't know what I can do. Like this, it's kind of scary, intimidating, you know? It's so big and juicy and greasy that you're like, I'm gonna be full. And then the fries, I'm not gonna lie, McDonald's fries are good.
I like The Office because, one, Michael Scott is hilarious, Steve Carell, and number two, because of all the pranks that Jim does on Dwight, I think is hilarious.
I like Friends because it's just about like daily life. It isn't about just some stuck in the office sort of deal.
It's a vegetable because Bob the tomato in VeggieTales is obviously a vegetable because he's one of the main characters.
There's also a blueberry in VeggieTales.
But she's not one of the main characters, and she's mostly evil all the time, which makes sense because she's a fruit.
That doesn't make a difference.
Does too.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No.
I think the next cheese sticks is the best school lunch because it's just a combination of the breadsticks that most people like and a cheese in the middle, which is just a great combo.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. Max cheese sticks, it's decent, okay? I mean, I'm not going to order extras of it or anything like that, but there's more things like chili Crispitos that this kid doesn't even like because it's not, I don't even know why you don't like it, but Max cheese sticks is just such a bland taste when you could have multiple different other things. There's not even, like, lettuce on it for, like, like, why would you have Max cheese sticks? It's such a bland taste.
Are you gonna eat lettuce with a breadstick?
I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's multiple different lunches with other things on it that make it taste better than just a breadstick with cheese in the middle.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
No, but they also put the mac cheese stick as the crust on some of the pizzas.
Yeah, which I don't get. But
that's
still.
so good. Stuffed crust pizza?
Okay, yeah, but that's...
Yes.
Okay, but then would that be your favorite lunch then?
No.
Yeah,
No,
max
it wouldn't
cheese sticks.
be. Max cheese sticks is
Yeah,
still the best.
see, but you gotta have an appreciation for taste, and cheese in a breadstick is just too bland to be a best school lunch, in my opinion.
Well, our Twitter poll says differently. Because our Twitter poll has more than 50% on the max cheese stick side.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. But like 10 people said they just voted max cheese sticks to make me mad, so that wasn't even a legitimate poll.
Well, that's just irritating then.
Yeah.
That's just not cool on their part. So we can't really.
Braden Smith.
Oh, calling him out.
Well, first you could tell me why you think it's not wet.
Water isn't wet. Water makes things wet.
It's a liquid. Isn't every liquid wet?
No, it just makes things wet.
Liquids do?
Yes, because it's a state. It's a state of matter. It's not
getting too in depth there, but just kidding.
Water isn't wet. It makes things wet.
I'd have to say it is wet.
No, it's not.
Yes. How is it not wet if you literally touch it and you feel the wet?
It makes you wet. When you touch water, it makes things wet.
Yeah, but
that doesn't make it wet.
But it is wet if it's making you wet. It's wet in the first place.
So when talking about gun control, people argue both sides to the strong side of it to the complete opposite ends of the spectrum. They don't argue the little details that make up what our laws are made up of, right? So like all the mass shootings recently. You can't say that a sane mind person would go out and complete a mass shooting, correct?
No.
So if we could change something to maybe restrict the access of guns to people with mental illnesses, that might benefit us. And maybe locking up weapons for the people who rightfully and legally own weapons, so that they're under control of them under all times.
So you're saying that a law-abiding citizen should have his gun locked up?
I'm saying that they should be in control of it. Not locked. It doesn't have to be locked up, but they should. If something happens with their weapon, they should be held accountable for it. Does that make any sense?
Not really.
So like if you were to have a gun and someone stole your gun because it wasn't properly contained, or you weren't in control of it and they went and completed a mass shooting or a shooting of any sort or harmed a person, that it should be liable on you for a little bit of it because you gave them access to the weapon.
But has that happened? Has people went and like, I'm gonna go to so-and-so's house and take all their guns?
I'm sure.
I'm gonna walk in, oh, I know he has 20 of them lined up on the wall and I'm gonna take that one.
Oh, I'm not saying it's all been that, but like in certain mass shootings, people have gone and taken their parents' guns, right? They weren't their guns that they legally owned. But so I'm saying that if we had a law based off of mental health screenings or something like that, then you can combat those people from getting weapons by controlling them.
Yeah, antidepressants. Like I was watching Fox News the other day, and dude was talking that they were saying that 29 out of the 30 like most severe mass shootings, all 29 out of the 30 were on antidepressants or some sort of medication.
So we can agree upon that little bit of possibly a mental health deal.
Yeah, like I understand like the mental health thing and that type of deal because that is a problem, and I don't think that somebody on antidepressants should have a gun.
What about the possibility of like restricting the number of rounds a gun can hold so that in mass shootings it gives time for people to escape?
Okay. Well, I hate to tell you, but that's not really going to work because a criminal is still going to get whatever he wants. Look at Australia. Australia took in like 1 million some semi-automatic weapons.
Yep.
Yes, their gun violence went down, but their normal violence went up.
Yeah.
So a criminal, instead of their normal gun violence of I'm just going to take my grandpa's AR and go shoot somebody, now they're using fully automatic weapons, bombs, vehicles. They're not just using guns, they're taking other ways to do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something like that, you're not just going to use a gun.
I agree upon that, but from what I see for the number of rounds held on a weapon, in a hunting situation, because both of us hunt, obviously, but like, how many times have you used more than 10 rounds on an animal?
A lot.
You need to work on your aim. I'm sorry, but like...
There's no reason you should take it from me, a law-abiding citizen, or my dad, or my family members, or my friends. Why should their 30-round clips get taken away? They're not doing anything. Their gun doesn't get in their safe, unlock the safe, walk out the door. Ooh, I decided to kill somebody today. So their gun just walks down the street, just starts blazing away.
That's understandable, and I'm like, the other option that I had was maybe, what about registering your weapon? Like we do vehicles.
They are all registered. They all have a VIN number.
So if something happens in a shooting wise, how can they track that gun back to you, you know?
Certain weapons, you go on a list for just buying them.
Yeah, certain weapons, but not all of them. So when you register your car, you get in an accident, you run away from the scene, you leave your car there, right?
Yeah.
They look at your car, they can say Gunner Kirchhoff owns this car, right? So they can track you back down and question you about it. So would it be okay if they did that with guns too? So if your guns had to be registered because it was a law, then they could go back and track what guns go where. So
I know that I have the overall reputation to be a male sexist person. Now that's not always the case, but I do have some arguments that I would say that men are by far the superior gender. Why, you say? Well, I'm going to start off with history showing us that it happened to be the men that were going to be responsible for everything in the household financially. However, the women were going to be responsible for raising the kids, which is where they should be, cooking and cleaning for the men folk.
And I do understand that history perspective, but then as women started to gain more confidence in their intellectual, and there's all forms of intellectual ability, that you really started to see women stand up for themselves more, have more of a voice. My household is very different. You know, my husband, who was an offensive and defensive lineman all through college, he's a big guy, but his mother raised him right in the fact that he does all the cooking, all of the cleaning. He was the primary in our household. I always worked. I've worked 2 jobs most of my life since I was 14.